I think the main topics of discussion were wide and varied. It was anything from technology, where we thought technology was moving, evolving, innovating. In many of our responses, we were aware that technology is always evolving, and it's one of our challenges to work with technology that day one with a client may be relevant, but as the projects move forward over extended periods of time, some of the projects are maybe 3 years in advance, 5 years in some, even 7. So one of the challenges is to understand how that technology that was relevant today is going to have to change and move with the design further down the line. We suddenly realised that more and more demands were being made earlier, before it was tendered, to get advice. And of course there is obviously and always has been AV consultants in the industry. But as an integrator, we come to the table with a little bit of knowledge of how well certain technologies eventually pan out. We've got that feedback loop of having lived with the technology as it's been deployed and learned lessons from that. I don't think it's growing exponentially. Clearly, some of the people around the table were from slightly different markets than we currently work in. So the theme park is an area that we have had very little direct involvement in, from rides and experiences like that. We've definitely worked on projects where they've been within theme parks but not quite at that level. So our main market is museum visitor attractions. That can also be visitor attractions for corporate clients, where it's not generally open to the public. These are areas where the client wants to bring in captains of industry and show them around the capabilities of their companies. Those tend to be quite long lead time projects, so therefore there's a lot of things that tend to sort of sit in a holding pattern for a while, and then very quickly will suddenly require immediate attention to them. I think there are other opportunities within the UK that we see come in phases. So you can imagine the UK as an entity has limited resources sometimes from a funding point of view, and therefore big key landmark projects don't happen at the same frequency that they may do in other markets, Middle East, Far East, etc. So it's a balance. The big takeaway is the peers that are around the table from other similar industries and companies share many of the challenges that we do, that the frustrations and opportunities are very similar, and we all collectively have a very proactive professional approach to what we're trying to do. I think no one came to the table with the eureka moment of saying I've got it, I've got the solution. I think we all spoke and listened, and I brought that up. Part of what we do as consultants or designers on projects is first to listen to what the client wants to try and achieve, or the designer, architect, but we also need to be heard. There's no point in our skills and knowledge and experience being at the table in those instances where we can definitely add value to what we're there for, and that information is parked and not utilised. So I think clearly getting the right type of skill set on projects earlier is across the board. Everyone agrees that absolutely has to happen.